Chatting.
There we go.
All right. Well, good morning, James.
Good
James
morning.
Hurst is my special guest today. The host of the marketing show, and he's running some fabulous companies. GHL Bounty Hunters. I'm really intrigued about that, James. And I was just going through your marketing show. It's a marketing based podcast, and there's some amazing episodes there. So would love to talk to you about that. But I think James, one of the best things that I learned about James is that he is a prolific helper. Like, James just loves to help people out. And I think, James, you are the topmost rated person when it comes down to inside Go High Level group, people who contribute to the group. And what that means is basically you just go out and you problem solve for other people.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting, man. And I've had a few people who kind of follow that mantra, but like let's start with that question. Like, how do you just keep doing this? Like, do you even make money out of this, or like what's the logic behind this? Because we're all marketers, right? We want to eventually, obviously we want to do good, but we also
Yeah.
want to bring home the bacon, so to speak. So like, tell us a little bit about this.
That's interesting. Yeah, so so I mean it's kind of an older strategy that I picked up a while back, which they call it the profile funnel, right? Which is like, hey, instead of my profile picture or a picture of my family, I'm gonna make a cover photo that has like, my links and it's gonna be my lead magnet, right? So then if I go into Facebook groups and
Mm,
then I answer someone's question, right? And they're like, oh, this guy seems to know what he's talking about, right? Oh, who is that, James? Let me click on his profile. Oh, he's a Go High Level architect. Oh,
mm,
there's a link, right? So the cover photo has a link. The first comment on the cover photo has a link to your lead magnet, whatever it is, right? So that was kind of the genesis of the idea, right? But it's a little bit more nuanced than that, because every time there's a question that comes up, I consider a challenge of my expertise, right?
mm,
It gets me thinking, huh? Because if they're asking it, other people are asking it, right? And the other thing, as far as scale goes, is I know that I'm not just answering your question, right? I
mm,
I know that there's 25,000 other people potentially that are seeing me demonstrate my expertise,
mm.
right? So I get to help the individual, but I also get to essentially pass my business card out to the other 20,000 people in the group.
Wow,
Now,
that's a lovely strategy,
you
man.
know,
Uh,
I mean, hey, um, and so I don't actually advertise today. I have a plenty come, like my DMs are like always like, if I took a nap one day in the middle of the day, and like I come back, I have like 5 messages within 20 minutes. Like if you could see my DMs, and I like it. I kind of like it. Like people asking questions. But I also, there's that, oh man, I feel like I'm either like the free guy or like the $500-$600 an hour guy. That they're like, wait,
mm.
you like what? I'm like, well, it depends. Are you coming? Are you coming inbound to me, or am I going outbound to you on my own time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, there's a lot that kind of goes into that, but at the core, I do enjoy problem solving. I do enjoy helping people. I enjoy people's gratitude for when I've helped them,
Mm,
and then I leverage that with video. And so I'm just thinking, I will be the high level library of questions and answers. And so
mm.
then I've recorded the video 8 months ago. And so all I do is just like, oh yeah, here's the video for that. Here's the video for that. Here's the video for that.
Nice,
Right. And
nice.
then again, everybody else is seeing the answer to that question with the video. They subscribe. I DM people a lot. I don't really pitch hard over DM or anything. I really just give them a video. Like, what a nice
Mm,
first impression. Like, here's the answer to your problem. And then 3 months
mm.
goes by. Here's another. If you were to look at my history of DMs with people, it's mostly like, here's a video, here's a video, here's a video. 8 months goes by. Hey, James, do you have this thing for sale? Oh yeah, sure. Like, it's like such a, I don't know. Does that help? Like, does that?
That's amazing, man. That's
Yeah,
amazing. So you know, you kind of started out with the profile funnels.
yeah,
You just kind of just kept on going with helping people out, but it's also helping your business. You know,
yeah,
on the business side, you know, you guys have an awesome service where you actually go in and problem solve on go high level side again. So this is an amazing strategy, man. It's such an easy strategy, and you know, we don't think about these easy things, right? We overcomplicate things
uh,
in most cases. But let's take a quick step back, James. Talk to me a little bit about what's your background, how did
yeah.
you end up in marketing, you know,
Hmm.
like maybe where you grew up. Let's start
Yeah.
from there.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, I actually don't know that much about RepStack, so maybe at some point you can give me the quick two
Of
minute or however.
course.
Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you guys do as well. And I know we kind of connected with Seven Figure Agency a little bit with Josh Nelson and all them. So shout out to Josh, he's a great guy. So I am
Mm-hmm.
originally from Oregon, and then I spent about half my time in Oregon. I ended up serving a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I was called to serve in Warsaw, Poland, right?
Hmm.
And so I had to learn Polish, and I went for about 2 years. And then after that, and it was actually really hard. It's like they call it some of the best sales training ever because it's just like, no, just continual no's, no, 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 and so that really it really helps you develop like a thick skin, which is great for entrepreneurship. I ended up coming back from that to go to college. I ended up going to BYU. And I studied information systems. I took a long way. I did a little pre-dental, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I ended up finishing, which was about half business and half computers. I figured that was, that's the perfect mix, right?
Like,
That turned out to be a pretty smart move, I think. I was interested in dentistry, but I also knew that was dependent on me going to work, my hands doing the work. And I don't know what it is about me, but I have been perpetually driven to make money without being there. I like to build things over here, and I like to sit and I like to come and work on it. I sit over here, and it works for me. Now, whether that's a reoccurring affiliate revenue, reoccurring SaaS revenue, right? They kind of very similar, right? So I love the idea of working on your business, but not working in it and being like a cog in the business. Like that's a technician, right? So, and I actually had a little window cleaning company. And so that's where I first got my first start. I was just a local business, a little kid, a kid out cleaning windows to put himself through college. And I made my website. I did a little SEO. I had a little form, a lead gen form, and my friend wrote a PHP script that would send the information from that form to my phone. Right. It was like my phone number at, vtext.com for Verizon or something. It was like the old way of sending.
Yeah.
It was the old way of sending emails to a phone number.
Yeah.
Way back then. And so I started doing local SEO, and I had the realization that, wow, when someone wants to get their windows cleaned, they give me a name, address, phone number. That's a lead. That's worth something. Just the information alone was worth money. It was like my first digital product in a way. I started sending those over to another window cleaning company. He would do the $200 window cleaning job, and I would take 20% as a cut. Yeah. So I was way happier about the $40 I made using websites and SEO than me going out and cleaning the windows and making the $200.
Did
right?
you so you must have gotten that website ranked top
Yes.
spots for your local city,
Yeah,
did you?
back then, 15 years ago, a window cleaner with competing against other window cleaners that have no clue, like it didn't take much to rank. Some title tags that just the fact that I had content out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, I ended up back then once Salesforce came around, I ended up taking that lead and not only sending it to my email and the other window cleaning company's email, I put it up in Salesforce. I had a single user license to Salesforce because that means I could put that lead up in the cloud, and now I could edit that thing. I could add pictures of the job, see what the price was, put my notes in. Because before I was doing all that on my Trio 650, my Palm Pilot, right?
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
My Palm Pilot was my CRM, but it was cool because when they called, I was like, "Oh, hey, is this Jan?" Like, well, how did you? Because they were a contact in my CRM in my phone, right?
Nice,
so
nice.
Anyway, so what I do goes way back to probably 15 years. I mean, I was selling on eBay when that came out in around 1999, 2000. So, but the internet marketing thing, it was kind of like hit or miss. The SEOs ranked one day, they didn't, the pages. I kind of graduated in 2008, 2009 in a recession, and I said, you know what, James, your best chance of getting any decent job is going to be a Java developer, a Java programmer. And I struggled in those classes. I love automation. I love that you can write things once and and how fast it is and repeatable. I loved all that stuff. And so, I ended up working in that field for too long because I love the entrepreneurship of making money online, but to feed my marriage and my kid. I have a big family, 5 kids. And so the safe and secure decision was to go be a computer programmer.
Developer. Wow.
Developer. Yeah.
Okay.
But
so how long did that last?
Yes. So until last year, basically. I ended up I was a QA, which means I tested software. You'll see me in the group. I'm like, hey, if you do this and this, like this is broken, like this, that's just part of who I am. As I'm using software, I'm like, this bothers me. Like, why is it like this? Like, this is broken. This is a bug. I have I don't know. I've just developed and whereas some people think, that sucks. This is broken, or that's just the way it is. I'm like, no. We can write this up and we can send this into the team and then they can fix it, And so I was a QA, then I was a developer, and then I actually I came back to BYU where I had graduated from. Just a wonderful, wonderful environment there, great people. And I became an Amazon Web Services engineer. So AWS, which if you don't know, it powers like half the internet and half of the Fortune 500, or it's AWS and Google Cloud and maybe Azure Cloud. It is a huge domain of knowledge. I spent 5 years and still like scratch the surface on what that thing can do. Anyways, but I just didn't. I was at a university. They didn't care about money. I didn't. There was no incentive for me to work hard that day or not, or produce, or be on Facebook. And so, anyways, I knew I needed to leave. I'm just like this ADHD creative entrepreneur. Like I love just throwing ideas out there. I love to ideate and build and create. And I felt like I was a caged lion at my day job, right? I had all this potential. I had the security. I had that paycheck through COVID when things were uncertain. I had that check and it was, it was a good, safe, so that, I appreciated that. And so I tried to quit like three years ago, and I started to sweat. I was nervous. My wife wasn't happy about it. I did not sleep that night. The next day they said, okay, here's the paperwork that you need to fill out. And I said,
no, thank you. I'll think about it.
I said, can I have my job back? I changed my mind. I changed my mind.
Awesome, man.
I changed my mind. Can I have my job back? But I still, they're like, what's going on here? Like, we need to talk to your boss and your boss's boss. And like, why did you want to leave? And now you want to come back? Like, what's going on? So I was there for 3 more years since that I tried to quit.
Wow.
through COVID. The whole time I knew I had to get out of there, but I was scared.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. And I think I that's wow, man. That's very, very interesting story and so relatable, James. When like my brother, for example, my brother Athar, who you met at the high level event in Dallas, and he recently stepped back from his job at JP Morgan Chase. He's at a vice president level, 13 years in, and he's full time at RepStack now. And I love working with my brother, and we don't realize, like, when you really hit the stride of your passion, and when things start coming together, like me and my brother, like, we've always been close, but like this business really brought us close. So for the first year, he was still doing his JP Morgan Chase thing, and he was trying, he's trying throughout that year, and 13 years before that, he's trying doing something to get off the ground, but he never
Yeah.
could. He had different ventures, like you just said that lion in a cage is exactly like Athar.
Yeah.
And eventually we hit something with RepStack, and a year into this business, he's able to finally completely step back, man. And
Yeah.
now I see him, like, he is the happiest person
Yes.
in the world, man. Like, he's got it going for him, and he's got an awesome family in
Yeah.
Delaware. And it brings me joy, man. Like, because I've been doing this for the last 14 years. I haven't, I've been working for myself in my digital
Yeah.
marketing agency, but seeing my brother come in, my other brother who's back home in Pakistan, come working in as a partner with us, all of us coming together. It's more than just just leaving your job and doing what you really really do passionately. It's basically our calling, man. And
Yes.
you, a while back, you asked me what is RepStack,
Yeah.
and and this is something that we're extremely passionate about. Like, it gets me out of my bed every single day, and I feel that if you don't have something like that going for yourself, then it's just another paycheck, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Working
No.
in the business or outside the business, right? So for us, it's so important that we founded, because I have a 14-year digital marketing agency in Calgary, so the RepStack kind of came out of that. And what we're basically doing over here is that we provide growth-oriented and passionate digital marketing agencies. And this is really important. Well, like, we spend a lot of time in coming up with this, that we have to work with growth-oriented and passionate digital marketing agencies with future leaders who benchmark to the best workforces in the
Mm.
world. And so that was our mission. The purpose that gets me out of our bed every single morning is that I really want to level the playing field for digital marketing agency specialists based on merits and not their location. Because guess what, like, I don't know if you can tell or not, but me and my brother, when we were in our early 20s, we came over to the States to study for higher education. So we went to
Mhm.
Minnesota State, and we realized that as soon as we come to the stateside, all of a sudden the playing field had leveled out for us. My brother went out to have an illustrious career in the banking industry at JP Morgan Chase, working at a vice president level, making more money than most people do. I'm running my digital marketing agency and doing a great job, and like, we're thriving. But we realize that with similar kind of education, we have people back home, who went to same schools that we went as children and as kids, and but they're being, and I know for a fact that they can do the same kind of work that we're doing over here, but they get penalized because of their location. So
Mhm.
that kind of became our purpose. Our mission became
Yeah.
working with passionate and growth oriented digital marketing agency owners, because if those two things don't coincide, people won't
Yeah.
see the humans for what they are. So right now we're like a glorified placement agencies, but we only work with digital marketing agencies. We only place full time associates inside digital marketing agencies. because we call our people future leaders. So these guys they'll come in, they'll
Yeah.
take over your high level tasks and go high level tasks, or they'll take over some of your SEO tasks. They'll be on the sales side. A lot of these people are like me, who can speak really good, who can communicate really well. A lot of these guys are on the account management positions, on the sales side, so a lot of client facing stuff. But once they're given the opportunity, they start growing, James. So they grow really, really fast. Some of
Yeah.
our people are like, in 2 years, they're making amazing. Like one of our employee number one is placed with Josh Nelson, who both you and I know,
Yeah.
and he's taking home 5 to 6 grand in commissions right now. It's a life changing situation for him back home because he's based out of there. So that's kind of in short what we are. But I really
Yes.
wanted to kind of touch base on that because I know you're an extremely passionate person, and it looks like that you've hit your stride. And it's an amazing thing when that happens, man. Like when you get to quit the job that you were in and come to your
And
calling
blossom and
and
blossom. Yeah.
exactly, man, exactly.
It's crazy, man. I feel like I used to search at my desk, bored at work, and I want to like, part of me wants to go back and help other people that are feeling stuck. And so much of it
Mm,
is in your head. I mean, it's a big chasm to cross, right? The health
yep.
insurance, am I going to be able to make those bills? Am I going to pay my mortgage, right? I have 5 kids, my wife,
Mm,
health, all that stuff, right? It's a big thing to cross, so how can we do that? Build up our savings, build up some revenue. I took so much paid vacation time off from my
mm,
other job to work in my other job, to go to conferences. Part of my story
mm,
does Part of my story does, I met back up with Russell Brunson, and I got back into the ClickFunnels world. Russell Brunson excited me again about making money. I didn't know you could take payments through a website, and he helped me connect Stripe and ClickFunnels, and I was like, that's how you make money online. You can actually,
nice.
we can now take payments online. And I was just like, I love this, but not $97 a month for ClickFunnels was expensive for my family's budget. And I went into my retirement account and I dialed back what I was contributing to my retirement
Mm,
to free up some money to go buy ClickFunnels.
mm, mm,
I knew that if I could just refer 2 or 3 people to ClickFunnels and get that 40%
mm.
recurring, that I could pay for that subscription.
Were you
Right.
able to do that?
Oh yeah. I ended up becoming the dream car winner. Right. So they pay for my car, my car payments. And I said,
Nice.
I don't care. Even if I have to build this one person at a time, eventually,
Mm,
if I work hard enough, I know I can build something over here that will be
mm.
passive that I could then leave. Right.
So how long
Oh,
did that process take from
yeah.
realizing that you want to make the switch and kind of starting
Yeah.
to really focus on your side hustle to eventually going full time on your
It,
businesses?
it took, it was probably from 2017 to about now. It's probably about 5 years. Now,
Nice.
it's too long. I mean, it was too long. And at the same time, um, one of the things I've always, since I've been very strong technically, it was always kind of like hey, I'll help you, build this stuff, automate that if you used my link. That's kind of a common thing today, even. I'll help
Mm,
you, I'll help you with the technical stuff if you use my link, kind of a thing, right? It's funny, like
mm,
I have like the marketing show, and I'm realizing that I'm not the best guy of like sales and marketing and copy. I'm like the how to market things, like send the
mm,
email, send the SMS, automate things. I'm more like the on the how to actually deliver marketing, but not really so much the copy and the offers and those kinds of things. So it's interesting. And sometimes I'm like, you don't deserve to have the marketing show. Like, but hey, I bought the domain, you know. But I want to talk about something that I with the Pakistan type thing, that because this is a crazy thing. Is, as I was going along, I found this kid in Nigeria. He was about 18 at the time. He was in
mm,
the ClickFunnels group. And just the way he was writing the post, Well, see, I've always just had a heart for like the people of the world that live in much harder conditions than us, the third world countries, right? There's a lot of people that barely get by on a few dollars a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the story of Muhammad Yunus, right, of the Grameen Bank, how he said,
Mm.
"Wow, I went around, I asked a few people like, and they were getting these loans from the loan sharks, and they were just stuck." And so
Mm.
he provided them he said, I gave this person $5 and he was able to get something. I gave this person $6 and I knew I might lose this, but I wanted to just
Mm.
test this idea. And so he started, the microfinance movement, right?
Mm.
Essentially these loans. I think they paid the loans back, but just the very fact that they were interest free helped them escape the poverty, right?
Mm.
So anyway, I saw this kid in the ClickFunnels group, and I was like, oh man, Nigeria, Nigeria has like this reputation of like the Nigerian
Yeah.
princes and all the
Yeah.
scams and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I said to myself, I was just like, come on now, come on. There's got to, I can't be true. There's got to be great, normal people, like give someone a chance. And I said, hey, listen, tell you what, I kind of believe in you. I'm gonna send you a copy of .com Secrets. I'm gonna pay $20. Let's get your address. I'm kind of just testing you to just see where I want to see I want to see what you would do. And
Mm.
I sent him a book. He's reading it almost kind of like by candlelight. Like the electricity situation is not great. I see
Mm.
he sends me his notes of his book,
Mm.
pages of notes.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
He proved to me. I could see his
Mm.
notes. I could see his dedication. He sent me. It was amazing when the book got there. Right? The
Yeah.
book. He sent me pictures of it in the mail. From there, I sent him my old laptop.
Mm.
Right? Because a laptop, I thought, was maybe the difference between him tapping into the global economy.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I loaded up some MP4s. I loaded up some trainings that I had on the laptop and shipped it over to Nigeria.
Mm.
Right. And then, he starts learning and growing, right?
That's amazing, man. And I think that's another point that I just took from this is that sometimes we feel that like I can save this person or I can work with this person, but this testing part out is so important, James, because like I personally have gone through that. Like I love people, like people that I grew up with, but sometimes people don't want to be saved, man. You cannot do anything to change their life. I
Yeah.
promise you that. But as soon as you find those people like you did with this person in Nigeria, man, and you know that you've hit gold because this person just taking notes on the book. He proved that he's going to be a go-getter. I'm just curious to know what happened after you sent him that laptop.
Yeah. So he starts learning. I would try to give him some kind of VA type work. I kind of send him money over Western. I didn't know how to send money to Nigeria, so I did a little test payment at Western Union, or and we still talk today, and it's crazy. But I want to bring it back to a little bit with Pakistan, which is
Yeah.
now a few years later. I said to myself, man, Pakistan to me, Pakistan's scary. It seems like the language looks a little different, right? It looks like this. It's stuff to see. The only thing I had in Pakistan, like the people, they look like the same people that I saw on the news from the 9/11, right?
Hmm.
And I said to myself, I said, I bet just like not everybody in Nigeria, is a Nigerian
Yeah.
prince scammer. I was like, I bet there's millions of great Pakistani people. And so I saw in the Facebook group that when people answer the question, some of the guys they weren't trusted. They didn't have the profile pictures. I could just tell that they're trying to get work out of the community. They weren't doing it quite right. And
Hmm.
this idea is what led to GHL bounty hunters.
Hmm.
Was I had the idea that there are great software engineers around the world that could just use for lack of a better word, a United States, an American frontman. Right?
Yeah.
Let me let me step out there. Let me put my neck out there. And so bounty hunters now is people from Pakistan, from India, from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Canada, from the US. And so it's this mix. It's a mix of I'm helping these guys. If these guys can make an American wage, it's great for them. If they can solve a $50 ticket in 20 minutes in between other things. So let's just roll back. So what GHL Bounty Hunters is supposed to be, it's on demand tech support that you get on a Zoom call with someone.
Yeah.
And you do not pay until you're happy. You pledge an amount. My classic example is a DNS record, an A record, a DNS record. You're not good at that stuff, and you see that you're supposed to do that to set up your domain, and you say, man, I would, if someone would just fix this, I would pay $50 if someone would just fix this DNS record for me. Now, so much of support in all the Fortune 500 is a chat, and you chat with someone, and then they spit out this paragraph, a canned response with a link, and they're like, it's just like, no, it's like you can't, and so it's the classic thing where I just want to dial a phone and talk to someone with a brain, right? I just don't put me in a phone tree, don't put me in, like, I just need someone to help me, right? And so I kind of got the idea in a way from High Level, because High Level was awesome enough to provide this live Zoom support. Like that alone, I thought was groundbreaking, revolutionary, right? That throughout the day, there's people sitting in Zoom. I can go in there and get help. Now, the problem is that guy who answers that ticket, he could be 2 weeks into it. He could be the new trainee, right? Because they're growing like crazy, and so they could, they may not have that experience, for one. The other thing is that I would sit there for 45 minutes before getting in.
Yeah,
sometimes. And the other thing is that it was only, let's just say it was from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so I said, hey, I can leverage the global workforce, right? So I can easily provide 24/7 coverage. What's really cool too is that you submit a loom and your ticket, right? My thing is engineered for speed, because I have essentially right now I have about 30 people that when a ticket comes in, they're gonna look at it and see if they can solve it. I am pre-screening someone. When someone takes your ticket, they already said, I will do it for that price, and I think I know how to do it. I'm electing to take your ticket because I probably know how to fix it.
Nice. And this is going on 24/7?
24/7. So compared to the scared guy behind the thing saying, I don't know what the next question is going to be. I don't know what, I filter before, and then we, so this is how it was supposed to work. The original idea was you put in a ticket and you say, I want to wait for this. Okay. It obviously takes a few minutes so half of us might be sleeping, half of us might be awake, depending on what time zone and what time of day for everyone. And so it takes a few minutes for us to watch your loom. We have the title of the ticket. It's $50, DNS record, claim it. And then we actually click a trigger link. It's all built on High Level, for one, too.
Nice.
We click a trigger link, and it says to the person, hey, we're waiting for you in Zoom right now. Ideally, you have an expert on Zoom with you within 5 to 10 minutes. That's our goal, right?
Nice. So how many of these? So basically, you kind of turned this into paid support for High Level.
Paid support.
And how many of these tickets are you guys solving on a daily basis or weekly or monthly basis?
We've only been doing it about a month, right?
Really?
Yes. Okay. This is only a month old, and I would say we probably just have like maybe 2 or 3 tickets a day, right? I'm like sitting there building the thing and building out the workflows as tickets are coming in. Like this is a true startup, and because I've also built out 3 other flows, which is the on-demand flow. And the other one is here, let me just leave this for you and get back to me. Right there. And then there's the appointment-based flow where it's like, hey, it's Friday night. I know I got this problem. I'd love to meet with you guys on Monday morning. And let's talk about that. And then I had the thing that the idea go off that I need to do the estimate flow, which is I don't know what I would even pay for this or what this is worth. Here's my problem. Would you guys come back with an estimate? And so this is not only just turning into like little tickets and things, it's also turned into like bigger, it's like a lead gen because everyone's coming to me. Everyone's coming to me with their problems. And one of these tickets ended up being a $2,000 ticket. Right. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, James. I'm curious to know what made you decide to do this problem solving for Go High Level specifically, because you could have picked out, ClickFunnels or any other tools out there.
Right. So, I mean, I'm all in on High Level, right? I think part of this also, it was an affiliate play. I saw some of the top affiliates, right? That they had that's a nice bonus, right? Imagine now I can say, hey, you want to sign up for High Level? How would you like some support? How would you like access to this team as an affiliate bonus? So it's almost, I mean, crazy affiliate strategy going on behind the scenes here too, right? It also freed up my time because I'm getting hit up by DMs all the time saying, hey, how can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I can now say, hey,
go here.
Put this through it's going to be cheaper to go through the bounty hunters. You can pick me. You can pick me, but my rate is only climbing, right? My personal rate. And yeah, over the last year, I was probably making, let's just say $50 an hour at my day job. And now so on some hours, I'm making $500, $600 an hour. Right.
Nice.
So that was a life-changing thing. It took me some time to build that up, but I lost my train of thought. But yeah,
I also want to ask you about this is great. You're all in on Go High Level. It's a great tool. We use it for our marketing, and a lot of our clients, I would say about 70% of our clients are on High Level as well. So we know the value this tool brings in. I want to quickly switch gears and come to the marketingshow.com. And I know this is a podcast that you do, and it's really popular. Tell me a little bit about that. How long ago did you start that? And what made you start that?
Okay, that's a great question. Let me just wrap up a little bit to your last question. Sure. Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So, bounty hunters. So, I'm like I said, I'm all in on High Level. My channel's on High Level. My whole brand, my whole personal brand. I'm wearing the High Level shirt. I'm going to the High Level conferences. So that was that. I started with that. Now, as I was telling people what I was doing, and I couldn't believe that the tickets were coming in as fast as word was getting out. Right. Even just 2 to 3 tickets a day. Like what I was like surprised by. Anyways, but I just want to quickly say that I did end up purchasing the domain cfbountyhunters.com as well. Right. Okay. All I have to do is clone the snapshot and swap some things. Right. Like it's a High Level. Yeah. So I was actually, I saw Russell the other day in Idaho, and I told him about it. And this my idea that worldwide 24/7 tech support, on demand, bounty based. What's cool is like I invented a whole new model with this support, and it's like better, right? Okay, let me quickly finish up with that. So I was mentioning this, and this guy, and I said the day I bought cfbountyhunters.com, which was November 29th of last year, I think. I also bought livezoomsupport.com.
Okay.
Livezoomsupport.com. I was like, I can't believe this is available. Well, it turns out that probably you don't want to use the word Zoom in your URL because they probably are not going to, if it gets big, they're not going to like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I wasted $10 on that. But as I'm building bounty hunters, I am already projecting out saying, bounty hunter, this is just high level. There is Excel, there's Google Sheets, there's PowerPoint, there's Slack, there's Chrome, there's everything. And this guy, he reaches out and he says, yeah, I got this domain that I've been sitting on. I just never used it. He's like, yeah, what would you have any interest in buying this domain? And the domain was mytechsupport.com.
Yeah.
And I said, I think I would love that domain. I don't want to lowball you here, but like, what do you need? What would you be happy with? I don't, what's that worth to you? He ended up selling it to me for $1,000, which I thought was a steal. So to answer your original question is, I think there's a much bigger global play here with mytechsupport.com servicing
all these niches, like high level CF,
everything,
Word,
anything,
Excel.
Zoom, Word. I said, grandma needs help bolding her text in Microsoft Word, right? Like, so my job could be to connect global tech support problems with a global workforce. And so I kind of said, this is Uber. This is Uber, kind of on demand. Who's closest by? Who can help me right now? Uber meets Zoom, right? Because Zoom's tech support. So Uber meets Zoom, meets High Level or any other thing because it's built on High Level. Meets Upwork, right? Upwork is kind of like this global freelance marketplace. Uber meets Zoom, meets High Level, meets Upwork, meets me.
I love it, man.
This is okay. So, and yeah. So okay. So here, let's go back to the marketing show, right?
Just before we, I'd like to kind of finalize this on, like your point on hiring the global workforce.
Yes.
I was talking to Sean Clark on my podcast a few months ago. And, and I think that's great that you brought that up, that, giving out, and that's kind of our mission where, we're trying to level the playing field for these people based on the quality of the work that they're able to do, not their location. And Sean said something very similar. Sean, I'm like, Sean, what do you feel about hiring people all over the world? He's like, you know what? I feel like I know a secret that other people don't, and even though it's not a secret, that it's truly, especially post-COVID, it's truly a global workforce right now, and I can tap into the best quality workforces around the world. Doesn't matter where they're located, and it's a secret because other people are still not doing it. Right?
Do you know what? Do you know what? Honestly, props to Sean Clark and the team, because them tagging the Indian help, right? Or what they would tag the engineers, and like you have these guys, and you're like, they keep on tagging all these people from around the world, right? And so you started to quickly, because there's I guess I apologize if I've that I have certain biases, right? The way I was raised, the things I was shown on TV, whatever it is, right? But you kind of have this image of cubicles or offshore talent, or the whole VA thing, right? But I also kind of had this hunch that there's sharp software engineers, computer scientists in these places, and High Level, by them tagging, Pooja, Varun, and all the, and all these people, you start to say, wow, there is some amazing talent outside of our board, right?
Yeah, and we also don't see this all the time, that the impact that we have, like inside the US and Canada, like, we see the impact right there, but the impact we have in these far-reaching countries, like, for example, at RepStack, 60% of our workforce is female. Pakistan is the fifth most populous country in the world, and it is conservative. And, and us, like, even at our leadership level, we have female directors, and then 60% of our workforce being females, and we didn't think of going we didn't think going into that we're going to be hiring all these females, but it turns out that, you know, a lot of our females, they don't get the opportunity to go out and work like the guys do at offices and things like that. We're 100% remote first, just like high
Yeah.
level. So, you know, all these talented females started applying because now they can work from home and things like that. And long and behold, in 2 years in, you know, we're almost like a female run company at
Yeah.
this point. So,
Which,
so you know, you don't see these
you know,
things
yeah.
until you start getting into these things. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. I'm so glad that we got to connect, and you know, this work that you're doing, it's
Yeah.
global work, tapping into the global workforce,
Yeah.
have an impact on people's life while we're
Yeah.
solving problems for everyone, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, it's just that it's the best of everything, right? Like you can feel, you go to bed, you feel great, like you're just alive, right? You talk about
mm,
getting out of bed and passionate.
yeah.
So I get to solve cool technical problems. I get to help people. I get to make money. I get to be free from my job. I'm let out of the cage. You're right.
Love it, love it.
I gotta tell you this other idea, a Chromebook,
Mm,
a rugged Chrome, like in Africa, they could, you know, I've broken so many laptops, a rugged Chromebook for
mm,
$120. That might be my, like, my kind of mission type thing is I am going to take a chance on you. I'm going to send you a
mm,
$120 laptop, right? With some loaded up with some trainings. I don't know, get you plugged
mm,
in. You know what's really cool with the bounty hunters? They come in, they get to learn, they get to watch the tickets. We have this thing where they someone can be the note taker, so someone could be the lead bounty hunter on a ticket, and someone else is going to
mm.
come and sit there and listen and train, and they're taking notes of the action items and the things, right? And so, like, these people can soak up all this knowledge, learn from the senior engineers as well.
That's awesome. How are you attracting talent for this platform,
Yeah.
James?
So, you know, a lot of it's my personal profile, my own personal brand, people that know what I'm doing here. I did make one post in the high level jobs network, right? That's like the perfect
Mm,
place. Like people are looking for a high level work. And then, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So, but, I, yeah. So that's kind of how I found, just, it's really not super that too many people that have, you know, there's only about 30 of us so far. Um,
nice.
but dude, what's
But
crazy too
yeah, go
is,
ahead.
like, there's no reason that couldn't be 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people, right? And with my IT background, I'm thinking about records in a database, right? And
Mm-hmm.
scale, and like what is the, if I was to grow this, what does that look like to have 60 tickets coming in an hour, like from a data
Yeah.
architecture standpoint? So I'm kind of like this mix of a marketer, entrepreneur, tech, you know, that can see a lot of the picture. Uh,
Yeah.
because I stayed in my day job way too long, I made this analogy, which every kid will know, is that you have that car, that you roll back and it clicks and then it
Yeah.
goes, right,
And then goes, yeah.
and then it goes out, right. And I was, as an entrepreneur, I was like, click 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 click. I kept on pulling it back, and now I feel like I'm on some sort of crazy, like,
Love it. Love it.
right.
You
And
got
so,
to wound up real tight there, and then now
yes,
you're on that
yes.
trajectory.
I feel like that's kind of what's happened. It's kind of like, yeah, I could have left, I could have gone self-employed at 22, but the, you know, the depth of
Mm,
experience, right? The engineering, all that stuff.
I
And so
agree.
I pulled my car back, and now I'm,
Mm,
you know, the trajectory that I think I could be on right now is I don't know. I'm a
that's
dreamer.
amazing, man.
Yeah. So
You
the
and I both, my friend. Yeah, tell me about the marketingshow.com, and like who should be listening to this show?
okay. As I'm getting out of debt, going through school, I was so bored at my job. I've been bored at my job my whole entire life until lately, right? I just was not. I was never the.
Yeah.
It was a little bit technical. I was learning, but yeah. And so I listened to Dave Ramsey's podcast for 3 hours a
Mm,
day just to help me get
mm,
through. And so I knew his show inside and out. I knew the ads, right? I knew that it was a question and answer format. I knew he had millions of subscribers. I knew that
mm,
all Dave Ramsey did all day was just answer people's questions. And so that thought was planted years ago. And I already started thinking of the marketing show that there was no question too small. If someone's asking the question, I bet someone else is. I'll make a video on it, right? No question too small. Oh, this is crazy. So, and I said to myself, James Hurst, you're going to be tech support of the internet. So this mix of like that I would. It was funny. One of the names was going to possibly be like the James Hurst Might Know Show, right? Like maybe James will know. He's a smart guy, right?
I like that.
I'll call in. This is crazy too. But then I was like, what if I could get paid to answer questions? What if I didn't just answer questions for free like he does? So Dave Ramsey, he just answers questions for free all day long. I was like, well, shoot, like, what if someone would pay me $100 to answer this question, and then I put that out on my YouTube channel? That seems like a much more wow. Someone paid $100 for this. I would watch this and get it for free. So now I'm making valuable content. The last video I posted was an hour-long call of me working on a $400 an hour call. So people can just sit there and watch me work for an hour and make $400. That does great things for my brand, right?
Nice.
I'm delivering a ton of value. So someone that wants to learn this, they can say, "Wow, this is what it looks like to consult on a $400 an hour call." So that just that call alone, is gold, right? And so the marketing show. Why did I pick it? It's also an affiliate play because I knew that domain would sit above ClickFunnels. It would sit above High Level. It would sit above any other tool, right? An Active Campaign, right? Because I affiliate for a lot of different things. And so I knew that umbrella would let me have the ADHD to do whatever I wanted underneath it, right? Hey, Active Campaign. Yeah. Hey, it's part of the marketing show, like. And so, dude, oh my goodness gracious. And so I started posting videos, right? I'm editing them myself and I'm posting them as I can. And when I quit my job, my production just, obviously I started pumping out way more content. And I actually had a quote on my wall. It said, James, you would be a beast of a content creator. Like just the way your mind is, your work ethic, like, I don't know. I guess people like, I don't know. And that's been true. And so, but here's the thing is I actually want to take every single call from the bounty hunters, every single ticket. Imagine I got 100 bounty hunters solving 3 or 4 tickets a day, right? I send that, I'm recording on Zoom, everything. I give access to that Zoom account to my video editor team, and we're going to be pumping out. If I can turn my dreams into reality, my vision into reality, we would be pumping out. We talked about the mytechsupport.com brand.
Yeah.
Pumping out, let's just say 20, 50, 100 videos a day. Because here's the thing. The world is so changing so fast. I read somewhere that that Google searches, like let's just say that 40% of all Google searches every single day have never been searched before.
Wow.
There's some sort of statistic like that, right? So if that is true, what does that mean? It means that the world is changing, so fast, like so that to be able to crank out 100 videos a day and upload them is kind of like I'm just trying to keep up with how fast the world is moving. Like I said, I don't know the exact statistic, but you can see what I think that the Bounty Hunter YouTube channel will quickly eclipse what I've already done with the marketing show. The marketing show only has about less than 2,000 subscribers, which in the YouTube world is kind of a joke. It's actually kind of a joke, right? But I don't even exist. I'm a nobody, right?
Yeah.
But for me personally, to have 50,000, 80,000 views, 1,700 people that are willing to do business with me, those are in YouTube terms, those are small numbers you wouldn't tell your mom about, right? But from a personal standpoint, a personal brand, and also nobody sticks with it. I've cranked out almost 175 videos.
Wow.
And over 4 or 5 years, I'm still not even monetized. I haven't even gotten monetized, but I just have this persistent nature. I just don't care. I don't care.
Keep at it.
I'm just gonna keep
So,
making videos. I don't care.
what would be, so to wrap this up, James? I think
Yeah,
this is a great segue. Is what advice would you give to a person like you and I? Like,
yeah,
you mentioned you're a dreamer. I'm a
yeah,
dreamer. I've had these crazy wild ideas and dreams, and finally, you
yeah,
hit your stride. Eventually, I had to go work at Best Buy because I couldn't sell, because I wanted a business, but I just didn't know how to sell.
yeah,
So 7 years I went in there learning how to sell, and then my agency started, and so on and on.
yeah,
But like, what's that one advice that you would give to a person who is on the fence still,
yeah,
thinking about quitting their job, and they have this option between, should I quit this job and start something that I'm really passionate about, but then they have their family, they have the
yeah,
bills to pay and things like that, but they'll be miserable there. And then they have this opportunity of being really living their
yeah,
dream, but it may not be stable. So
yeah.
what's that advice for that person
I
who's
love
on
it.
the fence, trying to jump, and living a life like you are or I am?
Yeah, I love that question. So, okay. I took that time. I took 5 years to kind of finally do it, right? And so I mean, however long it takes, like if you know that you're meant to do this, like do not stop. It's tempting to go out to eat, right? But if you can save that $50 and put that in your runway, right? You need a certain amount. What if this? I probably had $50,000 saved up before I
Mm,
left, and I also had
mm,
recurring income. Like I was like ultra conservative, right? And so okay, so like do whatever you can to save, right? Build that runway. You could to build recurring revenue, to take that paid time off. It's there's a lot of energy that you can put in before you jump, right?
mm, mm,
There's like a lot of unknown questions, like, oh, what about health insurance? What about that? Like, go and figure out. Like, go and
mm,
start asking those questions. Like, hey, James, where do you get your health insurance from? You jumped. People have done this, right? You're not the first person to strike out on your own, right?
mm,
And so go talk to people who have already done it. And it's, what health insurance do you use? And like, how did it work out? Like, and here's the other thing that you may not know. If you are a lion,
mm.
which I think you probably are, if you're watching this, you do not underestimate your ability to work from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. to make this thing work. You will come alive. You will come alive.
Yeah,
You will be happy.
totally.
And so for me, like a 12-hour day, it feels like about 45 minutes now.
Goes like that, doesn't it?
I love what I do. I'm
Yeah,
not working. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm providing value.
yeah.
And so do not underestimate your ability of fight or flight, sink or swim.
Mm,
I'll tell
mm,
you, you're gonna swim. You're
yeah.
gonna be okay. My first week after I quit, my body was like 4 a.m. Like, I'm scared. Like, let's go. Like I couldn't sleep. I was like, here we go. Like, go. Honestly, I'll tell you. Also, Upwork. That's how I kind of
Mm,
bridged out. Right. Upwork was a great way. You can find clients on Upwork. You can find gigs. Right.
mm,
And
mm,
so Upwork is a great way to kind of bridge out on your own as well. What it was for me. And I slowly just kept raising my prices. I took bigger and bigger jobs. I started with a $5 job. I got a 5-star review, and I got
mm.
another one, and I built a $50 job, a $100 job, 200,000. And then I started raising you alter between fixed price jobs and hourly based jobs. I started raising my rates and just seeing, hey,
What kind of jobs were you taking back then?
there's ClickFunnels jobs, there's high level jobs, there's website, it's the world's freelance marketplace.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody. So
I think that's a great piece of advice. So if I have to summarize what you just said,
yeah,
make sure you take the plunge. So not taking the plunge is not an option. But before you do, train,
yeah,
build up your recurring revenue, build up
yes,
your savings as much as you can. And then when you take the plunge, during that process, bridge the gap by
Yeah.
going on to the gig economy, like platforms like
Yes.
Upwork and Fiverr, and just doing what you can until you hit your stride.
Yes. Yes. And one of the things though, which is crazy, is that I could have like just taken like a job on Upwork. I had to be
Mm,
careful that I never like, I was always very careful not to commit.
mm,
What I love about tickets is I commit to the
yeah,
time to work on that ticket and then I'm free again. That's one thing I
yeah.
really love. I am very, very sensitive to James Hurst. You need to, oh shoot, I actually hope I don't have another appointment. Let me double check. uh, okay, I got a little bit of time. But you know what I'm saying? So I never like settled. Even let's say it was 150 bucks an hour. Hey, you want to come work for us for 100? I had those opportunities. Come take a
Mm,
high paying job. Now I'm because it was like, yeah, I'm working for myself. I'm kind of free. I
mm,
don't but anytime that the job posting said, I need you here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you're even if you're doing digital marketing,
I'm
right?
out of there.
I always, yeah. So I am very, very sensitive. Even now, I have a few commitments that require my bottom to be in the chair at a certain time.
Mm,
If I had my way, I would like to build a business that I could pick up and leave and not ask anybody.
So be cautious. Be
Yes,
cautious or mindful about the old world calling you back, because
yes,
it's
yeah.
really
The safe and
really
secure.
comfortable.
Yes,
That paycheck is nice and cozy and
yes.
comfortable. It's
You
gonna
could,
call
yeah,
you.
you can. Yes, exactly. You could still quit your job, and you could still be drawn back to the. Oh, here's a bunch of work. If I just
Mm,
I gotta show up at 9 to 5. Wow, it's even better paying. It's a bunch of work. So that means that I
mm,
did gig after gig after gig, and I got another affiliate over here, and I got another SaaS customer over here, one at a time. And I kept on doing gig to gig to gig, and I'm raising my hourly rate and my value
mm,
the whole
mm.
time. And even now, I've locked myself down a little bit. Long term, eventually, I would like to be completely free with
Yeah.
with with enough passive income, enough SaaS income from high level, etc., that I can literally go on a trip and pick up. And not that I like to go on trips or sit at the beach. I like to work. You know, I actually I actually go a little stir crazy on vacation. I like to work. Anyways, we'll leave them with that, you guys. It's possible. I'm so glad I did. But I also say, do I regret that it took so long? Because
Hmm.
I can't regret it because I clicked, click, click, click. I pulled myself back,
Yeah.
and so it does put you on a.
Yeah.
Be careful of when you launch. You
Yeah.
know, don't regret too much the journey because it is what it is. But I'm 40.
And everyone's going to have different circumstances as well, right? Like you had a
Mhm.
big family to take care of,
Yeah,
and you had to be mindful of that. I took that decision early on when I didn't have a big family. It was just myself.
yeah,
My brother, it took him a lot longer because he was already a family man. So it's going to be
yes,
different circumstances in what part of life you're at, what kind of responsibilities you have, and things like that. So you can be a bit more risk averse depending
yes.
on the timing of your life. But James, this is amazing, man. Thanks a lot. It's been an amazing conversation. I look forward to catching up with you more
Yeah.
often, and I'm sure this is going to be a super duper hit. A lot of people are going to get a lot out of this podcast. Thanks for taking out a whole hour for us and
Yeah, my pleasure.
talking to us, man. Really appreciate this.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say one last thing, which is just like if you can be conservative financially, right? I don't have credit cards. I pay, my cars. I when I won the dream car, I got a Honda. I just kept my old Honda Odyssey. So whatever you can do financially, right, to
Yeah.
keep your expenses down. Don't get into debt and consumerism and stuff like that.
Mm,
That kind of thing. All of these things help the equation to leave.
mm. Yeah, it's a great advice, parting advice for entrepreneurs who are gonna go out on their own,
Yes.
because that's gonna, it's gonna suck the life out of you. And
Yes.
yeah, it's a great story for sure, and a really great pointer. Try to avoid debt as much as you can.
Yeah.
You'd be happy to know RepStack. We've been, 2 years in the running. We have over 200 people full time employed, and we're 100% debt free so
Love
far.
it, man.
So
Yeah, man.
fingers crossed.
Good
Thanks,
for you.
James.
Okay.
Appreciate it, my friend. We'll
If
talk to you
if
soon.
if you guys want to check me out, go to themarketingshow.com or check out my YouTube channel, The Marketing Show. You got to end with a call to action.
Let's put up James, some of James' information over here as well, guys. Definitely check out themarketingshow.com. The Go High Level Bounty Hunters, it's GHLBountyHunters.com. And there we go. And thanks a lot, James. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.